Hello and welcome back to McClaren Performance. When it comes to self-improvement, people are always so focused really on themselves. But the reality is, there's so much to do with the people that we surround ourselves with. Has such a big impact on the people we become. I've always been fascinated with psychology, but I've really always been really fascinated with social psychology because we are just so massively influenced by the people around us. On 70-80% of our behavior is influenced by the people around us. And really there's this whole weird world of social psychology that explains sometimes strange human behavior. For example, there's so much research, really old research, about the idea of conformity, and that people will almost give the wrong answer to questions if other people in the group are made to give that wrong answer as well. The social pressure of that will make people do the wrong things. That's how influential other people are, and our need to kind of conform within a group of people, it changes our behavior. This kind of world that we live in, it's made by the people around us, and that really contributes to the kind of biases that we quite often have in our thinking. We don't really see things completely clearly and rationally all the time. We're massively influenced by the judgment and actions of other people. And I guess the question is really, how does that relate to what we're talking about today, which is success? How does it relate to self-improvement, becoming a better athlete, becoming better really at anything that you're doing? Well, let's take football, for example. People quite often these days talking about the culture within a football club. And what really is culture? And to me, it's really what we're talking about there with social psychology. It is the way that individuals influence each other. If you're part of a group, that influencing of each other becomes one whole. It becomes an environment that has socially acceptable norms, standards, values, and people are socially pressured to then follow all of those things. A player can be a good player somewhere and then be a bad player in another team entirely. And for me, that's really dependent on the culture and environment of both of those different places. And in either one, social acceptance and social rejection, either one of those can have a massive impact on performance. And that's not just football specifically. I think that's just life in general. Any sort of success, it's never really done in isolation by one individual. It's dependent upon interaction with other people, how you work with them, and really how those other people impact yourself and how you feel and how you work also. When it comes to the people that you surround yourself with, what are the standards, what are the values, what are the actions of those people? And if you question yourself, do you really follow those in a certain way? Do you feel a bit more accepting of doing things that maybe aren't so great because the people that you know, the people that your environment would kind of be accepting of that? Depending on who you surround yourself with, right and wrong can be different things sometimes. What I tend to do when I think about performance, when I think about athletes, is not really to look at them as individuals, say, but one cog in the machine of really the entire world and the influences that have a big impact on them. And what I advise athletes or anyone really is to have an awareness of that. And like the soil of a tree, it's to create that soil beneath you, to create those people around you, to create that environment around you that will help you develop and grow and go towards what you want to do. That is true in forming the environment of a football team, but it's also true in forming the environment of anybody who's wanting to improve themselves or get better at what they're doing. It relates so much to upbringing also. When we're such a young age, how malleable our minds are and therefore kind of our actions are as well. Our upbringing is a massive factor contributing towards what a person is going to be in the future, because those standards set in those young ages kind of become the standards that we set ourselves in our adult lives. So some of that is luck. You can't help who you're born with, and you can't help the people you might bump into sometimes in life. But I think a lot of that is controllable also, to create a group of people around you. For an individual athlete, to create a team of people around you, sort of having coaches, S&C, lots of different things. But what are the character and what are the standards of those people as well? And do they hold you accountable to a higher kind of standard? Because their thoughts and actions, whether you like it or not, are going to have a big impact on your own thoughts and actions as well, because you can't help it but be connected to people and be a part of really the whole human population of the world, all bumping around and influencing each other. That's just a little way in which you can kind of control your own little space. But yeah, thank you for watching and listening. Make sure you create that people around you, influence you in the right way, like the video, everything like that. That would be fantastic. And I'll see you again next week.